Laker fans, in today's video, I've got 3 trade ideas that I found. But before I get into those, I want you to tell me one player you want to see the Los Angeles Lakers trade for in the offseason. Let's get into today's video. Now, the first trade I want to talk about involves Myles Turner of the Indiana Pacers. This trade proposal came from Bleacher Report. They said, hey, let's get Myles Turner to the Los Angeles Lakers, pair him next to Anthony Davis in that front court that LA has. So let's talk about Myles Turner a little bit more here. The Pacers were looking to move him in the middle of last season because they didn't like the way that he fit with Domantas Sabonis in the front court. But then they kind of held off. The front office was like, we'll wait till Victor Oladipo gets healthy. We'll see what we have. But now the offseason's coming up a little quicker than they expected, and maybe they're ready to move on from Myles Turner and get some pieces back for their big man that they signed to a pretty long-term deal. Now, Turner had some pretty good numbers despite not playing incredibly well next to Sabonis. He still averaged 12 points per game and nearly 7 rebounds, 2.2 block shots, which is his bread and butter, is being able to protect the rim at the rate that he does. But he also shoots the 3-ball pretty well for a 5 at 33.6% from 3. Not great, could be better, pretty good in the mid-range as well. I'm a big believer in Myles Turner's game. Bleacher Report, on the other hand, says, hey, maybe the Pacers are willing to give him up for a pretty cheap deal. So in this trade idea that Bleacher Report threw out there, they have Myles Turner going to the Lakers for Danny Green and Kyle Kuzma. Now, let's remember, the Lakers don't have a lot of trade chips when it comes to draft assets. They don't have a lot of real draft picks they can send to the Pacers. So really, this is the best they can do. So before I go any further and break down this trade, I want to know from you guys, who wins this deal? Type L for Lakers, type P for Pacers. If you're typing P for Pacers, I think you're absolutely crazy because the Lakers in this deal, it's highway robbery. Sure, Kyle Kuzma is a good young piece. Sure, Danny Green is a good shooting guard. But let's face it, Danny Green's getting overpaid at the rate he's going at. And Kyle Kuzma is a huge step down from Myles Turner, no matter how you look at it. So the Lakers absolutely win this trade. And if they can pull it off, this starting 5 is pretty scary to deal with. Obviously, Danny Green is moved out of the starting 5 because he's no longer a Laker in this hypothetical scenario. So you get Avery Bradley and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope as your new backcourt, of course, assuming they re-sign Avery Bradley. LeBron James is in there. Anthony Davis, of course, also assuming you re-sign him. And your new front court is Anthony Davis and Myles Turner. Who's going to score on that front court? Absolutely nobody. They're going to protect the paint really, really well. But let's talk about the 2 guys they're going to have to give up in this situation. Danny Green and Kyle Kuzma. Now, again, I said it. Danny Green's getting overpaid. We all know he disappointed a little bit when you look at his contract situation, but he still put up good numbers, 8 points per game, 3 boards, shooting nearly 38% from 3, which is what you signed him to do. Now, Kyle Kuzma, on the other hand, started the year off a little bit slow, but started to pick it back up. He averaged 12.5 points per game and 4 boards. The 3-point percentage just was not there this year for Kyle Kuzma at 29.7%, but he still scored well around the mid-range and around the rim. So, yeah, you're giving up Danny Green and a good young piece in Kyle Kuzma, but when you get Myles Turner back, I think it is more than worth it. Now, before I get into the next trade proposal that I found, I want to tell you about this deal that Fanatics is hooking you guys up with. When you go to chatsports.com/Lakers jerseys, you get 25% off all Nike Lakers jerseys. You get an Anthony Davis jersey. You can get a LeBron James jersey, whatever you want for 25% off. And then using that money you saved, you can go save some more money at chatsports.com/Lakers, and Fanatics is giving you up to 65% off all Lakers gear. That's hoodies, that's t-shirts, that's hats. Now, the next trade I want to talk about involves Zach LaVine of the Chicago Bulls, a guy that I know a lot of you Laker fans like, which makes sense because, let's be honest, he makes a lot of sense for this Lakers team. He's young, which means he can play next to Anthony Davis for a long time. He can be a 3rd star next to LeBron James. And you've been wanting another playmaker on this Laker team. That's what Zach LaVine can do. Now, this past year for the Bulls, I was just talking about how great of a season he was having. You saw it just there. The numbers speak for themselves. 25.5 points per game for the Bulls, 4 assists, and nearly 5 rebounds. And he was shooting 38% from 3. Zach LaVine was having an incredible year. It sucks that the NBA had to suspend its season when it did because he was really finding his groove, but he might be even better suited as a 3rd option on a championship contender like the Los Angeles Lakers. So this one's coming from Fansided. How do they propose you get Zach LaVine on the Lakers? Well, the same way you got Myles Turner on the Lakers. It's Danny Green and Kyle Kuzma. Straight up 2 guards, a guard and a forward in Kyle Kuzma in exchange for Zach LaVine. Now, Do I think this gets it done? Absolutely not. I think the Bulls hang up in the Lakers' face and laugh at them when they offer these two guys for Zach LaVine without any draft picks attached. But if you disagree, let me know in the comment section below. Who wins this trade? Type CHI for the Chicago Bulls, type LAL for the Los Angeles Lakers. I think it's pretty clearly the Los Angeles Lakers in this situation, even though I don't think this happens. What would the starting five look like? It's actually pretty intriguing. Again, you got Avery Bradley there, but now your new starting shooting guard is a guy who can get 25 points per game every single night. And then you got him alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis, two of the top 5 players in the league. And then you put JaVale McGee in there at the center position. I like this a lot for the Lakers. I just don't think it's going to happen fan-sided. I don't think there's any realistic possible chance that Zach LaVine goes to LA for Danny Green and Kyle Kuzma. Again, good young player Kyle Kuzma. But what do the Bulls want with Danny Green? Absolutely nothing. I think it makes no sense, but it's fun to at least talk about because, again, LaVine makes a lot of sense for this Lakers team, and he's fun to watch on the court. Now, if you miss watching basketball, and especially Lakers basketball as much as I do, type me in the comment section below and let me know just how much you miss it, because I've been watching YouTube reruns, I've been watching NBA TV reruns, but most of all, I've been watching Chat Sports every single day because they're getting me through it. They're still giving me all the NBA content and NBA videos I need every single day, and especially this Lakers channel right now, youtube.com/Lakers TV. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Get us up to 13,000 subscribers. We're almost there. So all we need is for you to hit that big red button and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any incredible Lakers videos, even while the NBA is not in play. Now, I got one more trade I want to talk about. This one is also coming from Fansided. This one is sending just Danny Green to the Philadelphia 76ers for Sheikh Milton and Josh Richardson. Now, this one might be the most interesting one of all because I think it could actually get done. Danny Green would make a lot of sense on that Philadelphia 76ers team. He's a great three-point shooter and a great defender. Two things the 76ers desperately need. But the main guys you're swapping out here are Green and Josh Richardson, two starting caliber shooting guards. Danny Green, 8 points per game. Josh Richardson, 13.8 points per game. Their numbers are pretty similar across the board. But one difference is that Danny Green is a better shooter. Another difference, though, Josh Richardson is a better athlete and he is younger as well. I'd consider him a better playmaker on that end of the floor also. So really, you can throw a toss-up and just decide which one you want. Personally, I'd lean Josh Richardson. I think he's a little bit better at this point in his career, and he's a little bit cheaper than Danny Green. But which one would you rather have on this Lakers team? Type J for Josh Richardson. Type D for Danny Green. I'd type J for Josh Richardson. I think he makes a lot of sense on this Lakers team, but he's not the only one getting traded to LA in this scenario. The other guy is Sheikh Milton of the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, one thing about Sheikh Milton is that he has dealt with a good amount of injuries in the first 2 years of his career. Now, he only played in 32 games this season for the Philadelphia 76ers, but he did start in 16 of those 32. Now, when I watched Sheikh Milton play, and I watched a lot of them because he went to college here at SMU, he can be an ideal sixth man off the bench and get you a bucket, or he can even be a starting caliber point guard one day. Maybe not yet, but one day, I think Sheikh Milton will be a starting caliber point guard in the NBA. Now, when he did play in those 32 games, he had some pretty solid numbers off the bench. 9.5 points per game, 2.2 assists, 2 boards, but the most impressive thing, 45.3% from three. And that's not just because he didn't take that many. No, he was taking about 3 per game, and he was knocking down 45% of the threes he was shooting. So Sheikh Milton is a sniper. He's a great shooter. He can start at the point guard position. And then if you get Josh Richardson, that's a whole new starting backcourt in Los Angeles. So let's look at this starting five. You get Sheikh Milton and Josh Richardson in the backcourt. That's 2 young guards, 2 guys that can score the basketball, with LeBron James as your superstar, Anthony Davis as your up-and-coming new franchise player, and JaVale McGee in the middle. Now, I'm not 100% sure this deal gets done. I still think Philadelphia is a little bit not so sure. Maybe we don't just want Danny Green here, but it could happen. I really do think it could happen. Maybe throw in a pick or 2 to entice the 76ers to make this deal, because I like it a lot for the Lakers. And if you love the Lakers as much as I love talking about the Lakers here on this show, you got to go check out our friends at Fanatics. Before I get out of here today, I cannot let you leave without going to chatsports.com/Lakers jerseys. Get 25% off all jerseys. You can get a youth jersey. You can get an adult jersey, whatever you want. Anthony Davis, LeBron James, whoever it may be. and then take that money you saved, go to chatsports.com/Lakers. You get up to 65% off all Lakers gear on the Fanatics website. Laker fans, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.